Hello, Scubas, former manager of Lego Padme FC, Mbirchy on the mic. I'm a little bit sad to say that Haydn Hughes, the fill-in manager, he had to go, man. He really did try it. And that's the thing, it's just tough to watch because it was quite clear he had a counter-attacking method. And even before he went, he actually decided to go for a slightly different team. He actually sold his Real Madrid team, which was bought as a package deal from Jabba the Hutt. And he's gone and bought a new team. And then the board of directors just binned him. Just like that, he's in a bin. So, I mean, it's not too bad for the club getting silver one. Said no one ever. It's tough. I have to tell you, the club is actually going through a really rough period. And I mean, especially seeing as I was able to get those results in the first season. You know, your boy was actually getting Elite 2 on a rather consistent basis. And now we're having to kind of get used to sitting in Silver 1, which is really tough. It's really tough to watch. And I can only really imagine the pain that you supporters are actually kind of going through watching perhaps the downfall of Lego Padme FC. Hello? They come on mic again. I'm not happy with that, I'll be honest. I mean, it's actually becoming a bit of a daily occurrence now. You know, I'm starting to wonder now whether it is the microphone, because I'm thinking not even Lego Padme FC, if they were kind of conspiring against the boy, I don't think they'd even have enough effort to really just be cutting my mic all the time. So we bring in Shannon the Cannon Briggs as the manager for this weekend. Well, I say we, I wasn't really in charge. I was just watching from my seat, actually sat along next to Lego Padme herself. And it was good to see that Julian Brandt had obviously been training. As you could see, his stats getting a big increase, man. The guy has really been working hard kind of behind the scenes. And it's just lovely to actually see him working his way back into the starting 11. And unfortunately, though, as you'll see in just a jiffy, I mean, I hate to spoil it, but pretty much there wasn't even any footage of the actual games that Shannon Briggs was in charge for. So all of his games had just been binned, and we just have that, 11 wins. And apparently he just got binned after that as well. So he actually, apparently with him, is that he was motivating the players, really kind of getting rough with them. But he actually ended up having a couple brawls with Sergio Ramos, so he had to sell him. He had to sell Sergio Ramos, because then Sergio Ramos was actually the leader of the team at the time. And the whole team has kind of turned against him. Because Shannon the Cannon Briggs has obviously got really annoyed, because I think he was actually, I'm just trying to remember what it was. I think he ordered a Five Guys for the team, and the team, and Ramos stood up to him and was like, nah, lad, I'm sorry, but we need to be on a very kind of strict diet. And I'm not happy with that at all, actually. And he kind of really stood up to him. And at this point, Shannon's like, he's getting a bit angry. I mean, Five Guys is not cheap at all. He's just spent a lot of money on that Five Guys. And he's like, now, champ, you'll take it now. And then he obviously hands him the meal. Ramos wasn't having it. So he started swinging. And obviously, Briggs' uppercut lands, and it lands flush. And Ramos goes down. And the whole team said, you know what, lad, I'm not playing for you anymore. So Shannon, yeah, that's pretty much just how it ended for the boy. Shannon the Cannon Briggs. We had to say goodbye to him. Like I say again, it's not really a we. I'm just sat here on my Nintendo Wii right now, playing a bit of Mario Kart. Just took first place. Unlucky Lego Padme, he's just been rinsed. So yeah, man, it's just it seems to be a hell of a time. And by hell of a time, I mean it really is hell for the club. So it's not really in a good sense, if you know what I'm saying. It really is tough. The club is pretty much in the dirt, much like Chelsea at the moment in the alternate universe type thing. So I actually was watching Mbirchy Backhouse as he was walking towards the Lego Padme FC stadium, or actually when he was walking towards his car, his kind of flying speeder, but you might call it a car where you're from. And he had the keys in, and I said, "Where you going, lad?" And he said, "Lego Padme FC stadium." I said, "Why is that, chap?" And he said, "I'm the new manager." So I just shook his hand and said, fair enough, lad. And this is the team that Mbirchy Backhouse decided to actually make. Now, bear in mind, this is a lad that's never gone past bronze. So, you know, I'm not really sure what kind of level the recruitment is at these days for Lego Padme FC. But if you're ever wondering, I think it's quite clear that the club is, like I say, in the bin. So he basically kind of predicated his game style, his game plan, around whipping it in the box. And this guy, I think his name is Weghorst, or something like that. He's basically just a massive lad. You know, he's massive. He should be playing basketball, really. He's about 6'6". And he was kind of planted. I remember Mbirchy was saying that he just spoke to him all game long and just told him, just stand in the box, lad, and bang it home. You know, all you've got to do, really, is just stand there the whole game. And you'll get goals. Trust me, lad. So, apparently he seems to be doing pretty well. You know, I can only clap my hands type thing, because what I'm actually seeing here is actually pretty sick. Didier Drogba has been bought from Jabba the Hutt, and he was freshly out of the cryo, or the carbonite chamber. Freshly out of carbonite freezing. And the guy was laughing. He was actually insane. Look at this, he spins. Varane. My goodness me, he's looking like Slippy G. Drogba banging it home. So, you know, kudos to Mbirchy Backhouse. He had a very particular kind of play style. He worked out quite early exactly how he wanted to play. And it seems to be going to plan. So fair enough. Like, he actually was, because he was passing by me as he was kind of going to work every day in his speeder. And I could literally see the smile on his face was getting bigger and bigger by the day. But that's the thing, I knew it was going to come to a close at some point soon. You know, don't get too chuffed, lads, because just like that, it could all go. You know, all your rags swept up from underneath your feet, and you'll be laying in the dirt as well. Just like Haydn Hughes. And I hate to say it, you know, Haydn Hughes, it's just facts. The boy got roasted, and the boy got sent to a shadow realm by the board of directors. But that's just the kind of club they are now. They're a little bit ruthless. Just like Didier Drogba when he's in the box. The boy bangs it. So, I think what Mbirchy actually managed to do is negotiate a really good kind of package deal with Jabba the Hutt again, just like Haydn did with the Real Madrid former team. And he's actually brought in another icon, which is quite incredible. You know, he's got 3 icons in the team that really are of the highest level, the highest caliber. So fair enough to the boy. I think Mbirchy, you know, you could fight him tactically. I think tactically he's a little bit weak, to say the least. But I think when it comes to recruitment, the boy is absolutely incredible. You know, he's absolutely incredible. So, Miroslav Klose banging it in with a little volley. And that's just the kind of talent that these lads have. Didier Drogba banging it home too. And at this point... Hello? They've literally done me again. Is that funny? You think this is funny? Oh, have you lot gone, man? I swear. Yeah, so that's kind of peak. That is kind of peak. But what I have to say is that Mbirchy Backhouse... Fair enough, man. Fair enough. You know, he's actually got some vibey strats going. The big lads in the box. It's quite simple. It's quite simple tactics. But sometimes, you know, sometimes the simple strats are actually the best. You know, just getting a bunch of lads in the box. At the end of the day, just lump it in the box and hope for the best. Like, it's actually kind of jokes. I can sit there and laugh. You know, really, really quite funny. Because I was just sat there once again in... It was actually a new lumbar support sofa. Now, they're actually thinking of bringing in lumbar support sofas for kind of family package deals in the stadium. So that you can sit there on the sofa with a gang whilst you're watching the game. And I've also just got a new lumbar support chair, which I'm sitting on it right now. So it's pretty much kind of like a desk chair where you can adjust it and raise it and lower it and all the rest of it. But there's people complaining, saying, you know, this new prototype, is that really going to work in a stadium? If you can raise the chair, aren't people just going to raise it and then the person behind isn't going to be able to see? Because, I mean, it's a fair point. If the person in front is raising his chair, all of a sudden the person behind can't see. And to that, I just said, why don't he just raise his chair? But then they're like, nah, what about the lad behind him? And I said, well, he'll raise his chair as well. And they said, what about the lad behind that lad? And I said, he'll raise his chair again. And we went all day. We actually sat probably for a good 6 hours just going over this. And at the end of the day, they actually decided it's time for mass production, because the guy right at the back of the stadium is going to be up in the heavens. He's going to be laughing. That's quite peak, man. I swear, Lego Padme FC, what they're actually trying to do here is they're trying to keep me in the building for a long time, because I think I've actually finished this commentary about 3 times, and each of those times is cut out. So I'm not really too sure what you're up to here. And I'm a little bit sad. I'm a little bit mad. Because, you know, I was meant to be at home by now with Lego Padme having a nice little dinner. A nice little chicken nuggets and chips with a ketchup. Oh, yes. Getting a little bit hungry. So, Didier Drogba, what's he looking to do for Mbirchy FC, you could say at this point. He really is doing a bit of work with his club. And maybe he was the man for the job. I didn't think that they would want a really kind of mediocre bronze manager. But sometimes that kind of manager can just get you the results. Like, I don't really know what it is about him. But he just seems to have this kind of magical charm. And he just seems to be able to get the results game in, game out. He's apparently, from what I've heard, a really good kind of lad in the dressing room for the team talks. He motivates players. He gets the players cheap. You know, he's got some great deals. And he seems to be undefeatable. Might just jinx. I think I might have just jinxed it, lads. Oh, no. What's this, man? I'll be honest, I wasn't actually watching this game. I thought he won it. He told me he won it. He lost. I'm going to have to message him now. He actually told me that he won that game. What a freak. Well, so I was wondering why it... Well, it's just come up on my phone. Mbirchy sacked from Lego Padme FC after a flurry of losses. After a McFlurry of losses. Man hungry too, and it's got a picture of him next to a McFlurry. They're actually having a bit of a laugh with him. They've actually made a bit of a mockery on this little paper I'm reading here. Damn. That is peak. Well, this is actually the last game that we've got in the archives there. So he must have finished on about 6-1 or something, and then the board of directors must have just binned him again. Jeez, Lego Padme, I mean, it's going through some tough times. And, you know, a lot of the fans, they want me back. I just got a message now, I think, actually, hang on a GIF, I've been waiting for this all year. Dear Mbirchy, we are delighted to say that thanks to all the other managers being absolutely mediocre and shocking, you are back in amongst it. Oh my days. Lads, chaps and chappers think we're back.